Bible speaks of grace in terms of a sphere or a measure. Grace that is personalized, stylized with your name on it. We, however, will not boast without measure or beyond our measure, but within the limits of the sphere that God appointed. That's the sphere that especially includes you.
A sphere that especially includes you. Jesus said, I will build my church. And it's so evident today as we gather, he is building his church. In Matthew, the first gospel, around chapter 5, Jesus is up the mountain. It's considered the first sermon that Jesus preached. And in chapter 5, he says, you are the light of the world. He says, you are the light of the world. You are the light of the world. And you don't put a basket over a light that is intended to light up the world for everybody. Everywhere we go, we tread out this different light. I'm not really good at dancing, but you put this one on, and I don't even have to move. You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. You think about the different parts of the world that we all come from, and we are to be lights in all those different worlds. Isaiah said, how beautiful it is on the mountains with the feet of those that bring good news. Pastor Brian wrote the mission statement of Hillsong Church, and it says to reach and influence the world by building a large, Christ-centered, Bible-based church, changing mindsets and empowering people to lead an impact in every sphere of life. To lead an impact in every sphere of life. It's that first sentence that really gets me. To reach and influence the world. I mean, what is the world? What does the world look like? I think for most of us, we think about the world geographically. We think about the globe that spins. Maybe we think about the different countries that we're all from. Different parts of the world that we've visited. When we think the world, to reach and influence the world, take this gospel message into the whole world. We think geographically so quickly. You go around the world, come down to Australia, here we are at Hillsong Conference, down into Sydney, this part of Sydney, in the Olympic Arena, out at Homebush, in the western suburbs of Sydney. That's geographic. But maybe there's another way to think about the world, reach and influence the world. Maybe the world we should look at is more relational. You think about me who lives here, my wife and I, Julie and I live here in Sydney. We've got great friends up in London, Gary and Kathy Clark. We've got friends up in New York, Carl and Laura Lentz. We've got friends over in Cape Town, Phil and Lucinda Dooley. And you think about their friendships and their circle of friends, and you see that together we are relationally connected around the world. Now my world doesn't just have to be geographical, it's relational. So whilst my world is not as big as the world geographically, my world may not be 7.5 billion people. My world is hundreds or thousands of people, my friends and the friends they know, and that's my circle of influence. Well, if you come back to a local church, every single one of us, hopefully, are connected to a local church. And if you think about the local church, we all come from different parts of society. We come into a local church. We come from different sectors, or if you like, different spheres. We come out of the business sphere into church life. We come out of family. We come out of the media and out of arts and entertainment. We come out of government, out of religion, out of all these different areas, education, and we congregate together. We gather. The church is where we gather together. We get built up, like Pastor Brian was saying in the last session, and then we get sent back out into our respective spheres. The gospel message is not meant to be a message that is only for Sunday. It's not just about we run from the big bad world and hide here inside the church. We get built up here so that we can go back into the world and reach and influence the world for Christ. The Bible says in Ephesians, in the Message translation, the church, you see, it's not peripheral to the world. It's not an addendum. It doesn't stick outside the world like maybe one great priority, one good option. The church, you see, is not peripheral to the world, but the world is peripheral to the church. The church becomes central to society. What we're doing in this session of Spheres is taking experts in their field, experts in their sphere, and hopefully empowering all of us to reach and influence our sphere for Christ. Welcome to Spheres.